I remember getting out of hospital, still had my bandages on. I had one thing on my mind, and that was vengeance. It was vengeance. It was vengeance. I wanted it badly. The people who burnt me, why, you know? There's so many questions going through my head. I was so angry. But I remember vowing to myself that if I caught that guy, I would take his life, you know? I would take his life, bro. I lived with him. It woke me up like crazy.
I couldn't deal with my problem. Well, there's real brief moments of coming down off a high and the drugs wearing off. The reality starts to set in and you realise, I just started to realise how bad my situation was. The only option for me at the time was just to kill myself. You've messed up your life so much and you let so many people down. For me at the time, that was the only option. So I attempted suicide 3 times. I remember after my 3rd attempt, I really started to question God now. And I really started to talk to God and really ask Him for help.
I wrote my parents a letter, basically just telling them that none of it was their fault. And I folded it up and put it on the end of my bed for them to find when I was gone. And then I had a really large box of medicine and I just took it one by one until they were all gone and the whole room closed in on itself. And that was the point that I heard God. And it was the first time that I've ever heard his audible voice. And he just told me that he loved me. I guess that was all that I needed to hear. I can't even describe it. I just felt peaceful and it was calm, like it was beautiful, and it made, I don't know, like it made me want to live.
In the height of my addiction, I was very, very sick, and I was, 65 kilos or something. I was very frail, but not just the physical unwellness, I was mentally and emotionally, obviously, a wreck. So I left. I wound up all my business affairs and moved home and realised I needed to get some serious help. I moved back home with Mummy and Daddy, left at 14, and moved back at 38. And this is when I seriously started to search and look for God.
When I heard his voice, it made me realise that I was so loved, like beyond measure, not because of like who I was, not because of what I'd done, like the good things or the bad things, not because of your image and like you look good, not because of this fame that I'd found or anything like that, just because I'm his daughter and just because he loves me. I didn't need to try and impress him. I didn't need to try and do anything to win him. I just had it. And so I just wanted more. Like I just wanted more of him, and it was kind of then when I turned away from all of the other stuff that was so unfulfilling and decided to go hard after God, I guess.
Eventually we ended up at City Impact Church. You know, we used to drive past every day on my way to and from work, and my son Hari would say, we're gonna check out this place. I said, yeah, why not? And so we rolled in there, and man, you know, when you step into that place, it's just, wow, there's something different about it, you know?
So remembering too, I'd only been going to church a couple of times. I was still pretty fresh. I was still pretty messed up and stuff like this. And then I walk into this church for the first time. It was just a real sense of coming home. And, you know, I'd been lost for so many years doing my thing, living the life I was living, thinking at the time, that's all good, that's who I am and everything. And then I came into that place, and it was the first time that it was just this overwhelming sense of God just saying, well done, welcome home. Nobody had said anything yet, or the preacher hasn't been up yet, but it was just right at that moment. I just knew that I was in the right place.
Still was carrying that hurt and hate, you know. And I was standing at the altar thinking, you know what, Lord, what do I have to do here? In my head came self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself, because from there you can move on. And I said, you know what, Lord, the people who burnt me, they're saying whoever they were, whoever they are, I remember saying to him, Lord, I give it to you, I forgive them. In that moment, I felt him take that from me at that altar. I was free, bro. I've been free ever since.